Hi boys and girls, welcome to video number 7. What I've done is I've taken my science page out of my packet that was given out on the 25th of March. It's in there. If not, if you don't have it, that's okay. You could still learn from watching the video. So I've taken that and I've basically cut out the flower portion and glued it on the side just like you would a book, because that's what we're going to make. We're going to make our own little book. And I haven't separated the white. I just glued it down because it's going to guide me. After I glue it down like a book, I'm going to open it to make sure I don't cut the back of it. I'm going to only cut the cover of it. Okay? See that little dotted line right there? I'm just going to follow it real carefully so as to not cut the back. You see that? So it's going to stop right at the spine. Okay? It's going to be a little information flip book once we're done. Well, before we even get started, we have to label each part. So anybody know what this is called? It is the flower of the plant. So I'm going to take my label and I'm going to put it just on the inside of my book. Okay, so hopefully you can find some glue or some tape or something at home to just get it to stick on there. Okay, so we call that the flower, and the flower has a job to do that we'll talk about. See how that it's just on the back of it? You want to leave this side empty. This whole side is going to be empty for now. I'm just labeling it so that if you want to flip it over, you say, oh, that's called a flower. Okay? Does anybody know what these are called? They're usually green, and they face the sun, and they give us oxygen. It feeds the plant. All right, you should have chosen leaves. Okay, I'm sure that you did. And I need to glue it down here. See that? So you should put flower, leaves, so that when you open it, you say, oh, those are the leaves. It's like a secret, right? What do you think that's called? I mean, a little tricky. You have two more choices. Is that the stem, or would you call the roots? We talked a little bit about this before. Okay, that's right. You should have realized that this is the stem, holds up the flower, and also helps spread the water that's getting sucked in by the roots. Okay, so the roots are on the bottom and the stem is there. So I'm just going to go take those two things and I'm going to label them right in there. And hopefully you guys are doing the same thing. Okay, there. Now I'm ready to put in the information that goes with my flower. So if somebody asks you, what is the job of the flower? What's the job of the flower? I mean, why is it? Sure is pretty. It gives it gives the bees nectar, which helps us. But what is it about the flower that's so important to the plant itself? What do you usually see in here? Let me see if I could. What do you usually see in there? Anybody know? Seeds, right? Especially if you see a sunflower, you could really see the seeds in there. This is the part of the plant that makes the seed, right up in there. So I'm going to take this, cut it out. It says this part makes the seeds for the plant. And I'm going to stick it right in, oopsie, there on this side. And I'm going to make sure I stay in my own section that goes along with the flower. Okay? So that when you open the book, it gives the label and the job description of the flower. It should look like that. It's just a cute little book, okay? So the flower, this part makes the seeds for the plant. Leaves, which one do you think goes with that? This is the part that makes the food for the plant and releases oxygen. The leaves soak up the sun's rays, okay? And it makes food like a sugar for the plant, because plants need food too. And the way that that happens is through the leaves, okay? So I'm going to take this and I'm going to use a faster method here. I'm going to use the tape just so that we could not have to wait for me. And then there you go. I've got my flower, the part that makes the seeds for the plant. The leaves, the job of the leaves is to, this part makes the food for the plant, and it gives us oxygen. It releases oxygen. That's why you see a lot of trees planted by the freeways. It's not just to be pretty. It's just because of all that smog over by the freeway. It gives us nice oxygen. Sucks up the bad stuff. All right, so let's take a look at this stem. We already labeled it the stem. What's the job of the stem? Is this the part that supports the plant and carries the food and water, like this paper says? Or are you going to use this one? This is the part that soaks the water and stores the food. Soaks up the water and stores the food. Okay, you should have picked this one. This is the part that supports the plant. And the bottom one is the one where it soaks up the water like a straw from the ground. That's why we water our plants, because they have roots that will suck it up like a straw. The stem will spread it around. We put it on the window so we can get sunlight, and the leaves could do their job. There you go. Once you decorate this, I really want to make sure that you add the seeds to the flower, because it will remind you that every part of the flower has a job, even the pretty part that we like to smell. So there it is. My flower. This part makes the seeds for the plant. Leaves. This part makes food for the plant and releases oxygen. Stem. This part supports the plant and carries food and water. And lastly, the roots. This part soaks up water and stores food. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. You can color it, make it look pretty. And if you wrote a nice little card on the back, you could kind of give it maybe for Mother's Day. I don't know. Just don't show your mom the video. Bye, kids.